Does anybody know what today is?
All Hallows Eve.
See, isn't that interesting? This is probably one of the first times I can remember, because I'm not that old, but that a holy day landed on a holiday. Is there a difference between a holy day and a holiday?
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So you're right. Today is Sabbath, but it's also Halloween. What is the number one phrase for Halloween?
Boo.
Trick or treat. That's right. Trick or treat. So the name of my sermon today is Trick or Treat, and we're gonna dig into this and fasten your seatbelts because it's going to be a little bumpy, especially at first. All right. So, is Halloween a trick or a treat?
Depending on who you are.
Depending on who you are. I propose to show you this morning that it is a trick, but we'll see. Where did Halloween come from? Yeah. Okay, All Saints Day, that's one of them. But actually, even further back, we get something else. But the best thing to do when you don't know something is go to Wikipedia. Anybody ever heard of Wikipedia? It's excellent. It's an online free encyclopedia. So that's where I went. And I looked up Halloween, and it says that it is a holiday, or not a holiday, a holiday, celebrated on October 31st. What's today? October 31st. It has roots in the Celtic festival of Samhain. Anybody ever heard of Samhain? A few people have. And then also in the Christian holiday of All Saints Day. So what is Samhain? Again, we can go to our Wikipedia. Very handy. The internet's great for some things. Samhain is actually Gaelic. I'm Irish, by the way, and so this was kind of interesting to me. But it's Gaelic for summer's end. It's actually the end of the time of light and the beginning of the time of darkness. Isn't that interesting? Kind of a little side note there. Samhain was held from October 31st to November 1st. And like I said, it has Celtic paganism roots. Okay, so this isn't Christian, this is pagan. And look at how I found this down into the page. It said that the celebration had elements of the Festival of the Dead. And during that festival, the Celtics believed that the veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead, or the other world, became very thin so that spirits or ghosts could actually come through that veil. And so it was a good day and a bad day, because they were glad to see, supposedly, that their ancestors would come along, right? And they would give them gifts and stuff. So we have gift giving. And then but the problem is not only would good people come through, or spirits, but bad spirits as well. And so they would dress up with masks and things to kind of hide from the evil spirits. If you look like an evil spirit, then the evil spirits would think you're just another one of them. Sound familiar? It does, doesn't it? So it's a lot of similarities. So the main thing I want you to notice about Halloween is the whole idea of death. It's permeated with death. Look at this. I can prove it. Look at the things. What kind of movies do they watch on Halloween? Yeah. I grew up, they always played The Wizard of Oz. That's a kind of a good story, but it has evil things in it. But if you'll notice, when they dress up, they're dressing up as victims, people killed, hatchets in their heads or whatever. A lot of killings, it's glorified. Ghosts, skeletons, fear. The whole thing is fear. So again, you notice that the overall theme is death, right? Then we have All Saints Day. Is All Saints Day about death? Which is another reason why we have Halloween. Well, actually, it is about death. It's about the All Saints Day is about those people who supposedly have died and were saints, and so they got to go straight to heaven. Okay, and then the next day is All Souls Day, and those are the people who weren't saints, so they didn't get to go directly to heaven, and they're celebrated on that day. So again, we have death being the theme, okay? I told you this is going to be kind of rough, but I promise it'll end better. Another thing that's involved in this whole season is the Day of the Dead, which is mostly down in South America and Mexico. And this is a day where they celebrate those people who have died, and they leave out gifts for the spirits, okay? So far, you know, I don't know about you guys, but it's making me uncomfortable already. The holiday focuses, talking about the Day of the Dead, the holiday focuses on the gathering of family. They pray and remember friends and family members who have died, right? And as you saw that picture, they have parades and skeletons and all kinds of things are involved. So again, the theme is death. Halloween is about death. I mean, I don't know how to sugarcoat that, okay? So, for a minute, let's look at our society. We've already established that Halloween is about death, but I want to pull back and not concentrate as much on the day right now as our society. Where are we at? Okay? And we're going to get into some things, and don't be offended if you have any of this stuff. That doesn't mean that you're, a sinner or whatever. Well, it doesn't mean that you're doomed, okay? It just means you made some mistakes, and we all have. Okay, so first of all, has anybody noticed how popular Halloween has become? I mean, they used to, Christmas was the only time they put up lights and decorations. They put up lights for Halloween now. I was surprised. I was driving along, I said, what the? It's not early Christmas lights, guys. It's Halloween lights, believe it or not. And nowadays, if you're walking along, you don't actually have to, it doesn't have to be Halloween to see somebody really strangely dressed. The guy, this is a boy, he's got makeup on, he's all black and sad looking, right? Another thing is images of death have become the cool thing. This is a little girl and she's got a skeleton on her, a skull on her t-shirt. They made it pink, so that makes it okay, I guess. But it's still a symbol of death. It's still a symbol of death, right? So, what I want to point out, I used this illustration before in Sabbath school, and I'm going to go over it one more time, especially for visitors. But God in the Bible gave the Israelites, and us by extension, two choices. He gave them the choice of life or the choice of death. And I made a comparison one time to it being like the old Coke and Pepsi commercials. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember, but when I was a kid, they had these commercials where they would set a person down at the table, and there was two drinks there, but they were covered up, and they would drink from one, they'd drink from the other, and by that they'd say which one they liked, and they'd pull it off. And I don't remember if it was Coke or Pepsi, but whoever the commercial was for, it was their drink, right? I'm sure they never showed the other one. That was the choice, and it was a blind choice. But what I want to point out is God gives us a view. He gives us a view of our choice. He doesn't have a blind choice, but an open choice.